대한민국 남자 양궁을 대표하는 스타인 김우진과 이우석, 김재덕이 중국 상하이에서 눈으로 보고도 믿기 어려운 장면을 연출했습니다. 자국 중국 선수들의 승리를 기원하던 상하이 홈팬들도 우리 신궁들의 신들린 묘기를 넋을 잃고 볼 수밖에 없었는데요. 상하이에서 세계 최강 대한민국 양궁이 어떤 신기를 선보였는지 함께 보시죠.
Well, Korea are going to start this gold medal match, and you have to say China really do need to have a flying start to have a chance here against the Korean team.
9, 9.
So the last time we saw Kim Woo-jin in a finals venue, he pretty much bulldozed the competition at the World Cup final. So it's going to be nice to see the Korean team back on the venue and see what they can muster up today.
Kim Jae-dok following it into the nines for a 27 start for Korea. You can hear the support in the crowd, but to stay focused like that, Lee putting it straight into the 10.
Yeah, the crowd is loud enough to make the sound levels completely peak, and the microphones completely only generate noise, basically.
So 2 10s to start things off. 2-time Olympian Wang putting it into the 9, but that is just what China needed to put themselves in this match and put Korea under a bit of pressure.
Yeah, because Korea didn't have a bad group to start with, but they all started a bit on the left and they dropped 3 points. So I think this is the opportunity that China needs to take before Korea ramps it up. Some good communication there from Kim Woo-jin to Lee Woo-suk.
10, 10.
So that is the level that we were expecting from Korea, and also the reason that China needed to get out of the gates fast and with a high score, because they will need to, match this score to get this set.
8.
Oh, that's all about how you handle the pressure of the opportunity. And all of a sudden, you have to fancy the Koreans for this one. 2 10s to share the points required from China.
8.
That's just how quick it can go, how quick the momentum can change from being 2 points ahead to not having a chance at the set anymore. And I think it's mostly Korea's doing by putting a bunch of pressure on the Chinese team with their perfect second rotation.
Well, there it is, a 57-54 initial set. The Republic of Korea shooting 999, then 1010 to take the lead here. 2 set points.
Piled on the pressure with 3 10s to take set number 1. China here having to start all over again.
9.
Chef, the fear really here for China is that Korea aren't going to miss the middle of the target now.
Well, I wouldn't say that much, but they're not going to stray far off it, I think, because the circumstances look pretty good. It doesn't look like it's very windy. It doesn't look like it's extremely bright out. So I think this is pretty much perfect shooting circumstance.
Well, another factor here is that it's dry, and it certainly hasn't been throughout the week.
No, and I think that's also what threw a wrench in the Korean qualification as well, because typically speaking, you'll see all of the Koreans somewhere in the top of the pile. Now the highest ranked Korean archer is, I think, Lee Woo-suk with third place after Brady and Marcus D'Almeida. And I think Kim Woo-jin was somewhere 18th or something. He dropped way below the rest, or way below what we are used to seeing from him. But obviously they still see him as pretty much the anchor or the most experienced guy to lead this team to the gold medal, because they put him in anyways.
Just outside, or was that on the line? It's marked as a 9.
Yeah, and I think I have to agree with that.
These are not bad shots, but you can really feel the pressure on this Chinese team.
Yeah, you can see it in their facial expressions as well. They, I think they're carrying a lot of pressure on their shoulders, shooting here in front of their home crowd against, you know, the best archery nation in the world, pretty much.
Well, they've got plenty of room for error here. If all things go according to what we're used to with the Koreans, they're going to be 4-0 up in 2 hours' time.
9. 8.
Well, that was a stray one, but as I said, they had room for manoeuvre there, and it is enough to take them into a 4-0 lead, but a little bit of an unusual shot there to finish things off.
Yeah, he did try to throw it to the right.
To win this one.
Really good arrow to start that end off, or set rather. So typically I'd say if you shoot first, you can really put some pressure on the other team with a really high score. But we've seen situations like this where a team shoots a really high score against Korea, and Korea typically seems to be unfazed. They just think, okay, we can do that too. So putting a lot of pressure on the Korean team is not an easy task.
They may have just heard what Chef said then. Just completely unfazed by the 29. Shot by China.
And I'm not keeping scores today, but I think after that first 9 on the left by Kim Woo-jin, he's just only shot 10s. Another one of those left 8s, and he seems a bit surprised by it, but he also just moved his sight, so he might just think it must be the sight setting, it cannot be me.
Well, it does mean that China have got this in their own hands. Two more 10s and they've definitely got the points here and got themselves back in the match. There's one of them.
He seems happy with it.
Now, pressure on here. No 10 so far for Wang. Drifted out to the 9. Now, this gives them a big chance, but Korea can take the match. They need 3 10s, though. No There's room for error here. Kim Woo-jin first up. Well, that means China are back in the match here.
Yeah, they are indeed. And I think, like I said before, it doesn't seem like they're really feeling pressure. They just didn't shoot enough points this end. It's a bit of a different vibe, a different feel about it. And sometimes you'll see a team buckle under pressure, but here I feel like it's more just, oh, we didn't hit the middle this time.
Well, they matched the score that took the points in the second set in the third, but not enough this time for Korea as China get themselves on the scoreboard. They still trail.
And it's this thing where you get like really nervous or really excited at the beginning of the match, but you cannot keep that same level of excitement going for the whole match. So eventually it will die down a little, and then you'll be able to relax a bit more and shoot better, typically speaking. Or what also sometimes happens is that you have so much adrenaline in the beginning that you're just tired throughout the match. Not necessarily physically, but just you feel a bit numb, and you kind of want to avoid that. But I think it's difficult for them in this circumstance to get numb to what's going on.
I think you may well be right. A good grouping from China there, but just a little off to the left.
Yeah, we've seen a couple arrows drift off to the left, not only by China, but also by Korea. So there might be a little bit of a drift that we have difficulty catching.
That's a little bit of wind. It looked like it was certainly blowing straight at the archers right at the start of the session. Maybe it's just starting to cross over the range a little bit. No problems there for Lee Woo-seok.
Kim Jae-juk just fumbling with his finger tap there for a bit. I think his leather was folded and he was struggling to get his hand on the string, but they have a lot of time left. They have 67 seconds left on the clock because they just have a good rhythm and a fast shot. You can see the frustration there of first shooting a left 9 with the whole team, trying to adjust and then going over to the right.
Waited till his last arrow, potentially for a 10 and a 55. But as you can see, plenty of room for Korea here. 59, a possible target for the Koreans.
Yeah, 2 9s and an 8 would be enough already. Or a 10 and 2 8s, or 2 10s and a 6. You could pick your poison there.
So a 7 required for the win. Jae-dyok with that responsibility in his hands. Puts it into the 9, more than enough for a strong Korean team. They followed their female counterparts in the women's team recurve competition to take gold in the men's recurve team competition. And despite China fighting back in set number 3, the Koreans were just too strong and have taken gold here in Shanghai.